What is going on, YouTube? It is your boy NevinTheBarber, and we are back again with another haircut tutorial. In today's video, we're going to be covering a high burst fade. So basically, this is just a burst fade with no C-cups on the edge up. So that's why I started this guideline right at the point of reference at the top of my client's C-cup. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and carve in that first initial bald line. These are the new Gamma Flex trimmers right here, and I must say that they are hitters. They cut all the way down to the skin with no irritation, and you guys can see I was able to get a nice crisp line with them. So now that we have that initial guideline set and it's cut down to the skin, we're gonna now use the Gamma Instinct clippers with the lever all the way open, no guard. So this is cutting the hair down to a short 0.5 length. And we're gonna follow this guideline using the 1.5 guard all the way open. So we're now at a short number 2 guard length, and we're gonna blend this guideline in straight into the bulk. So I'm gonna be doing some clipper over comb, leaving that same guard on that we just used, and we're just rolling that comb off of the parietal ridge, ensuring that we don't cut into the crown of my client's hair. And now using the 1/2 guard all the way open, we're gonna begin blending the 0.5 into the 1.5 all the way open. So to do this, like I said, I'm starting with the lever all the way open, and I'm just attacking that middle guideline, slowly shortening my cutting stroke as I close that lever. And just be consistent with it. You know, some hair texture may blend out a little bit easier than others whenever you guys are doing this. So just be patient and consistent with your cutting stroke, and little by little you guys will start to see your blend come together. And now we just have to come back and erase our initial guideline that we created with our trimmers. So I'm going to use no guard, lever all the way closed, and we're just going to begin working our way up, opening that lever as needed just to attack any last dark areas that we see. And just like that, you guys can see we were able to get a nice clean transition on the right side of my client's burst fade. Same thing on that last guideline. We're just flicking out with a very short cutting stroke with the lever all the way closed. So now that we have the blend complete, I'm gonna go ahead and start the edge up on my client. So I like to line up the vertical bars before I actually get into the front of the edge up. I feel like it gives it a little bit more symmetry as opposed to just going right into the middle of your client's forehead. And one more time with my flex trimmers, ensuring that we got that skin line blended into the grain of the hair. So now that we have the fade and the edge up complete, I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the nape area on my client by his neck. And he did want it pointed on the back, so we're gonna go ahead and create a V on the back of his burst fade. And these trimmers right here are hitters right out the box. I did not modify them yet. I wanted to see how they cut right out the box if you guys are interested. And if any of you guys are interested in purchasing these clippers, you guys can get a discount on them with my code NEVIN10 on the Gamma website. So now we're going to repeat the same exact steps on the left side of my client's head. First, carving in our first initial bald line with the flex trimmers, and then we're going to go over it with the Uno shaver, just ensuring that it's cut all the way down to the skin. And you guys can see that I went back and made sure that I had a nice crispy line before I actually got into the fade of the haircut. And it's very important that you guys do this because this first initial guideline is the foundation of your fade, and it's basically going to determine how your fade comes out. So now that we have that section cut all the way down to the skin, we can come back to the Gamma Instinct clippers, no guard, lever all the way open, and we're going to go up about 1 inch. And we're not going to erase this guideline quite yet. We're going to do the same thing we did on the right side. We're going to follow up this guideline using the 1.5 guard all the way open. So we're going to have 3 sections. We have our skin line, our 0.5, and now we're creating our 1.5 open guideline. And this is going to be the biggest guard that we use. In my fading system, I only use the 1.5 in the half guard. So now to blend that 1.5 into the bulk, we're going to use the clipper over comb technique, ensuring that we roll the comb off of the parietal ridge and the occipital bone, just to ensure that we don't cut into the crown. So you guys can see that with that simple step, I was able to blend the 1.5 guideline into the bulk of the hair. And now we're gonna start attacking that middle guideline, blending our 0.5 into the 1.5 open. And I'm starting with the lever all the way open with my half guard. This is cutting the hair down to a short number 1 guard length. And we're just gonna start closing the lever, shortening our cutting stroke, ensuring that we can get the nicest, cleanest blend that we can. And whenever I cut hair, I try to make the fade look as to where you can't tell where the blend starts nor finishes. Just a nice clean transition from the skin to the grain of the hair into the bulk. And you guys can see I'm just using the corner of my clipper, attacking any last dark areas that I need to. And I like using this corner method because you can get a much more precise cut as opposed to using the full blade on the clipper. So now that we have that middle section blended out, we just have to come back and erase our initial guideline that we created with the trimmers. So now I have no guard lever all the way closed, and we're just going with a very, very short cutting stroke, attacking that initial skin line we created with the trimmer. And we're gonna gradually open the lever as needed, just to attack any last dark areas and get that clean, smooth, blurry transition. And if you guys have learned anything in this tutorial so far, please be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to my channel if you guys haven't already. I do drop barber tutorials every week for you guys. And if there's any tutorials you guys are interested in seeing, just feel free to drop them in the comments and I'll try my best to get those tutorials out for you guys. And I do want to thank you guys for hitting 200,000 subscribers. I did hit 200K this week, and that is a very big accomplishment for me. So thank you to each and every single one of my subscribers. I do appreciate, you know, all the loyal ones who tune into my videos. So thank you guys. I really do appreciate you guys helping me hit 200K. That is a huge milestone for me. So now you guys can see that we have a very nice smooth transition. There's no guidelines left that we need to blend out. And this system right here that I did is personally my favorite cutting system. I did invent this cutting system on my own. I've tried tons and tons of different fading techniques, and this one right here just happened to work the best for me. It's very time efficient, it doesn't take long, and like I said, you guys only need 2 guards, the 1.5 guard and the half guard, to execute this blend. And you guys can see these flex trimmers were able to get a very nice crispy line on my client's edge up. And like I said, I didn't even modify these trimmers right here. They're hitters straight out the box, and I would highly recommend them to any beginner or advanced barber out there that's looking to, you know, get a new trimmer. But like I said, feel free to use my code NEVIN10 on the Gamma website if you guys want to save some money. You guys can get a discount on anything on their website with my discount code. So now that we have the blend complete on both sides, I'm gonna go ahead and trim up my client's hair a little bit. He did want to, you know, retain most of the length on top, so I'm just gonna cut any flyaways that are sticking over the parietal ridge. That way when he combs his hair back, he has a nice clean transition and there's no hair, you know, laying into the fade. And with this technique that I'm doing with the shears, I went ahead and saturated the top of my client's hair, and I part his hair down the middle of his scalp, and I combed that whole entire section to the left side of his head. And you guys can see I'm just laying my fingers on the parietal ridge of his head, ensuring that I cut any flyaways with my shears. That way, like I said, we do get a nice clean transition from the fade into the bulk of the hair. And now I'm gonna go ahead and do some shears over comb, Just to ensure that we have a nice clean transition from the top of the fade into the bulk of the hair, I always like to do shear over comb in all of my haircuts, regardless of what haircut I'm doing, just because the shears give off a little bit more of a softer finish as opposed to using the clippers. Sometimes the clippers can leave, a little bit more of a choppier look when you guys are cutting hair. So this is why I like to do shear over comb on the top part of the blend. It leaves a much more softer finish, as you guys can see. And when you guys are doing this, just always make sure that you roll that comb off of the parietal. You don't want to dig in and cut into the crown of your client's hair. So now that we have the top cut, we have the fade done, we did our shear over comb, I'm going to go ahead and apply some of my Nevin the Barber curling mousse to my client's hair. It's very important that you guys always style your client's haircut before they leave. That way, it just makes that much more of a difference for them when they look at their haircut. And some of your clients may not know how to style your hair. So, it's always important that you educate them and you know what kind of hairstyle that they want. That way you know how to properly cut it and style it for them. And you guys can see my curling mousse did bring my client's hair to life, just reducing all the frizz and giving it a much more fuller look on top. And now I'm just doing some razor work, bringing that razor blade up against the grain of my client's hairline. And personally, I always like to do my razor work against the grain of the hair rather than with the grain, just because when you guys are going against the grain, it's cutting it all the way down to the skin, and this is going to help your haircut last a little bit longer. And now we're just going to finish up this haircut, just doing some last detail work with the flex trimmer. It's always important that you guys take an extra 5 to 10 minutes just to detail your cut after you've completed it. Not only will your client appreciate this, but this will also increase your chances of retainment. And same thing on the other side. But that is about it for today's high burst fade haircut tutorial. Again, if you guys are new to my channel, please be sure to hit that subscribe button, drop a like and comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I appreciate you again. It's been your boy Nevin the Barber, and I'm out.